Please stand quietly for the national anthem. Trafalgar Primary School would like to acknowledge our local Indigenous tribe, Gurna, as the traditional landowners. At this school, we recognise the elders and the Indigenous people who had their own cultural space before us. They had their own way of life and contributed to the way we live now. Thank you to the Indigenous people and the Gurna tribe for the land that we are meeting on today.
When I first asked some of the grades about STEM, they said to me it was going to be all about experiments and kabloomy and watching reactions, and we realised that it's not. STEM's bigger than that. STEM's more than just doing an experiment in science. STEM's about bringing in a whole heap of different skills together so we can solve some problems.
So this semester we're going to be looking at the food production and fibre production within Gippsland. We're looking at your paddock to plate sort of ideas. We might be doing some gardening or some growing plants, and we're going to be doing some designing elements as well.
We're doing somewhat similar to what Miss Gully's classes are doing, just depends on how hard we make it or what other tools we're using. So some of the students already have had their protractors out to do some pie charts. Mm-hmm. Well, STEM's really important because it's for all stages of learning, it's for all jobs, and STEM brings together a whole heap of different skills in your everyday life.
I like STEM because we get to do different things to do with maths, and I like how we're finding out where the different foods come from and where it's processed, and figuring out how to make charts and graphs and adding things up to see which is most popular. Miss Gully is telling us add up the amount of people who like different foods for breakfast to see which one is the most popular in the school. So we have to add them up on Google Sheets, I think it's called, and then we have to make a chart to see which one is the most popular out of all of them. You get to choose between a lot of charts, bar charts, pie charts, and we get to choose our own chart. I'm in a group with Ayla, Adina and Amelia.
Why don't maybe you draw a piece of bread with
I like about STEM is how it's mathematics, and I love mathematics, and that we get to do fun activities and learn different strategies. I also like that it's one of my favourite subjects at school, and that we have to do something about breakfast, which is probably not the topic that I would first think of, but I think that Miss Gully did a good choice.
So what I like about STEM is that we get to do technology, engineering, science and maths, because all this stuff, when you put them together, is really fun. And I like how we did the breakfast project, because it's really interesting to see what people had for breakfast.
We've been collecting data to what people have for breakfast, and we put it on a wall, and we find a lot of people had different types of breakfast.
That is scary. This is lollipop. Mr. Nichols, guess what? Actually, icy pop. I had red toast and egg for breakfast. We are doing this breakfast thing where Miss Gully gives us a sticky note, and then we write our favourite breakfast, and then there's these charts where whatever one we write down, we've got to put it on that side.
Our class, we've been doing the aliens, and you get to name the aliens whatever you want. And then you have to, like, the legs or arms or whatever, you have to, like, times it by what it was, I think. And
STEM is science, technology, engineering and maths all put together. And what we do is we have like a breakfast project we're doing in STEM with Miss Boyer, and it's where we all have to write down what we had for breakfast and then put it in like a pie graph or a bar graph or anything like that, if whatever you want. And the pie graphs are actually a lot harder than the bar graphs, because you have to use a protractor and get it to the right angle. Miss Boyer is a really good STEM teacher because she explains everything really clearly, and if you're stuck, she'll help you.
in STEM, we've been doing breakfast food, where we write down what our favourite breakfast is, and on the graph, we put it down on a pie chart of how much percentage, like how much people like, say, cereal or toast and all that. I enjoy STEM because it's something different that we normally do. Like, we talk about breakfast food, which is not what we normally do and all that.
I think STEM will help because it teaches you how much maths is used in everyday life. Like in breakfast, we were graphing how many people had what for breakfast.
We've been doing STEM this term, and we've been doing it with Miss Scully. We've been learning about what are the right food and drinks to eat. We had to make a circuit to light up light bulbs.
At the moment, we're learning about dairy products and how they're made and where they come from.
This term we're doing STEM with Miss Boyer, and it's like about like putting graphs into what everyone is having for like breakfast and we can like do pie graph, bar graph or column graph, and the pie graph's really hard, and I think it's good to learn STEM because it's a very useful.
This term we've been learning STEM. In STEM we've been doing graphs. We'll put the graphs into what we've had for breakfast, and it'll be all the grade 5s, like what we've had. We can choose either three of the classrooms, 2 or 1, and we would like just write like a circle graph, and then we would write in the middle of what was like how much people have eaten it, and at the bottom we would do some maths to like sort it out.
In grade 5, we've been learning STEM. The teacher is Mrs. Boyer. We've been gathering the information, and we've been putting it into different graphs and like pie charts and stuff.
The kids are super excited about making butter out of cream.
Will you be making me a cake?
Yes.
Maybe.
If we can grow some wheat to mill some flour, we will make you a cake, Mr. Nichols.
Or scones with cream and jam.
What do you call a dinosaur with one eye? A do you think he saw us? Have a great weekend.